I'm here. Okay, there we go. Hopefully we can hear me okay. I've had a very nice morning. I got a lot of things done. I got a lot of things done which I needed to do, which I'm really, really happy about. It is a wonderful day again here in sunny Spain. I also just saw some cool news. Did you get something cool here? Not so much. I saw some really cool news, which I don't know if anybody has ever played this game or remembers this game or like knows it from like back in the day. But Mario Paint. Mario Paint was like this really fun, like sort of like creative suite on the Super Nintendo. And it was one of the games that used the Super Nintendo mouse. It used the Super Nintendo mouse. It was a really fun game. It's like it had like a music creator in it. You could draw in it using the mouse and stuff like that. And they just put Mario Paint. They just put Mario Paint on the like as one of the like the classic games on the Switch too, where you can use the mouse and stuff. So I got some desires to later draw out some do some funny drawings on like Mario Paint, like with the mouse and stuff. I don't know, I think it's gonna be fun. I'm kind of excited about that. So yeah, I want to do some like funny Mario Paint drawings like later in the week or something. I think it'll be really fun. We still got nothing. A hairdresser you trust. Getting yourself a hairdresser you trust, a barber you can trust, somewhere to go cut your hair, and it all happens as you like it and stuff like that. It can be a bit tricky, that can be a little bit tricky tracking that down, tracking that sort of thing down. If you got someone you trust, and good stuff. Hair can be complicated, man. Hair can be really, really complicated. Oh, that's great. No, dude, like it's people who like work from home for like stuff like that, like haircuts, massages, things like that. There can be people who like just like run absolutely like killer businesses just because they don't have like or nail technicians or whatever, just because they don't have like a chair. Because that's typically how a lot of those businesses work, don't they? It's like there's like a hair salon, there's a beautician center or whatever, and people like hire a chair and kind of like work there, and they rent a chair in that space, and then they've got a place to work and do their job and stuff like that. But it can be pretty expensive. And if you're just working from home or whatever, or they do home visits, it's like it's all cool. It's all cool. I didn't realize it was this week, even though there's like literally a giant billboard I see when I kind of go like north to the mountains. And I go out of the city sometimes for like rock climbing or stuff like that. I've seen for the past few weeks like a massive billboard for the ooh, we got someone at the back here. But yeah, it's the Bad Guys 2 movie is out this weekend. I think it's out Friday. Probably the same in most countries, no? It's probably like an international release, I think. I think that's probably like an international release. I feel like you can probably... Is that just gonna... but yeah, the Bad Guys 2 movie's out this weekend, and I think Arisu just messaged me, just like, oh, do you want to go to this on Friday? I'm like, yeah, let's freaking go. Let's go. Let's bad guys it up. So, I don't like doing spoiler talk, and I think it's pretty easy to sort of to kill still kind of like give impressions and opinions and stuff like that without actually getting into like complete spoiler territory or anything like that. So I'll probably give some opinions of that over the weekend. And I think the animation of that is... I like the style of it a lot. I remember when we saw the first one. Is that like 2 years ago? Or whenever that was. When we went to go see the first one a couple of years ago. And I enjoyed it, man. I thought especially the animation style was really cool. I like Sam Rockwell a lot, who he voices the lead, the wolf. He's just called Mr. Wolf, isn't he? You think he's just called Mr. Wolf, right? And yeah, dude, he said the other day, he said at Comic-Con this weekend, he said oh, we should do a live action The Bad Guys. I'm like, what the hell would that be? What on earth would that be? Tax evasion with Rex the dog. Okay. Is it tax evasion or tax avoidance? Evasion's the legal one, right? And avoidance is the no-no one. Alright? What am I talking about? What am I talking about here today? What am I talking about? But I enjoyed the first one, especially because, like, the style, the animation. Do you know what I mean? I thought the animation was cool. I do like, and I do appreciate that, like, the DreamWorks stuff goes, like, I feel that, like, dude, it'll probably predate that Puss in Boots movie. I'm trying to think of which one sort of, like, concretely started doing that. But the fact that they don't just have, like, an in-house style, and the stuff kind of looks a little bit different, and to me, I think's, really, yeah. Onion bag heavy at the moment, man. We're doing classic stuff. When Rex has got the fursuit on, it's very easy for me to do these, like, you know, like pan batch cooking stuff. We're doing some chili today. But the real thing we're doing is we're talking to the people. You know what I mean? That's the real thing that we're doing out here. Whilst cooking English chef, we're just gonna make up a batch of chili. It's easy for me to cook these sort of like big pan batch things when I've got this like head on. If we were to do something a bit more complicated, it might be a little bit not the best, you know? Not the best idea. Not the best idea. We're just chucking together stuff like this. A little bit of oil. Don't worry, we're not going to get that spitting on the fur. Something like this, it's easy to do, and it makes me get these little batch meals and stuff that I can eat throughout the week when we're in a little bit of a bind. Yeah, the new characters look cool though in that Bad Guys movie, for real. I'm with you on that. Some of them look pretty cool. But I like those like that modern kind of run of DreamWorks movies where we've got like a bunch of different like animation styles and stuff like that, or art styles, rather I should say. I think it's cool. I vibe with it. As somebody who's like a big fan of like art and animation and whatever, you know? What am I doing? Yeah, let's get a bowl. Let's get a bowl. But yeah, I enjoyed the first one. I've only seen it the one time when we went to the cinema. I haven't like rewatched it, you know what I mean? But I remember when we saw it and I was like, yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it. I had fun with it. And there was like when I saw Dogman, that would have been in like, did Dogman come out in like April or May? I think it was around Easter time. I think it was like May, no? Or was it even earlier in the year? Maybe it was May. Whenever Dogman came out, it had a you know, like a short film before it, which was like with like the bad guys characters in. Like they were doing like a big heist or something like that. I like stuff like that. Like when you go see movies and get like a short film before it. I'm always into that, man. Enhances the theatrical experience for me. And your boy loves. I'm somebody who's commonly referred to the cinema as a form of church. I like it. I like going to the cinema. When you get extra things like that, I'm into it. At the onion ASMR. Onion ASMR. That wasn't good. That was not good. That was not good. Okay, let's not let that ever happen again. Because that could have resulted in like a toe. That is the only near miss we've ever had. And now if any of you guys are in the workplace, if any of you guys are employed, and you guys work in a factory, and you guys work in wherever, you know when the near misses happen, you gotta report these. You gotta report the near misses. So I'll be filing in the paperwork to describe that I dropped a knife on the floor. And it narrowly went to my frickin'... Let me just give that a little wipe. And it nearly went on my foot. Alright. Now within the onion bag, you have the garlic bag. Bags within bags. It's crazy, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Do I have some garlic? Garlic bread? Give this one a go. But yeah, no, it's been a nice morning. I've got a lot of stuff done, which is good. I got a lot of stuff done, which is Always good. Also, I can show these a little bit later, but I got these like kind of like recliner things, which are kind of cool. It's like basically just like a big sort of mat, and on the back it's got like a recliner with like a adjustable recliner, so you can change the angle with like padding on. So I got 2 of those, and they've been like sick to have up by like the pool. So they store in little bags really easily. So I just like take them up to the pool, and I can just be like there and like recline stuff. It's sweet. It's really comfy. It's really, really comfy. You know, it's just stuff to kind of... I think if there's anything you're doing regularly, you know, if there's anything you're doing regularly in your life, in your home or whatever, if you can ever find ways to kind of reduce the friction of doing that and making it as easy as possible, it's the move, you know? Obviously, there's going to be stuff that has, like, you know, cost implications or whatever, and then you got to judge, okay, can I do this? But the mindset of just kind of like Kaizen, continuous improvement, whatever, and, you know, reducing friction wherever possible in your life is ideal. If you're chill, we're chill with you. And if you're not chill, get out of here. Get out of here. Has anyone ever made like... No, it would just be like dangerous, wouldn't it? I was thinking of like IRL, like Overcooked. You know, like the game Overcooked? So it's like an escape room except you're cooking and everyone's running around, so it just sounds dangerous. And you score points. I'm just talking nonsense today, man. I mean, that's not exactly a change of pace, is it? We're typically spitting nonsense over here. Okay. But yes, I'm pretty excited for the bad guys later this week. I think that's gonna be fun. What else am I kind of in my view, you know, in my what's in the word? I was gonna say rear vision. Like, dude, I got like a friend who I've tried Overcooked with quite a few people. I got one guy who I played a lot of Overcooked with, and like, there's just no drama. It's just like, all right, you take care of that, you take care of that, you take care of that. Oh, sorry, I messed up that. No worries, I'll cover you. And like, oh, whoop, like, there's literally like no. I know that's the type of thing where I can like it can like rage people or whatever, but we're like, we really work in it, which is nice. Neither of us are getting stressed. Everybody's very forgiving. I feel like we're not playing the game properly. Okay, I'm thinking of my freezer because I like to have a stockpile of like some of these like, you know, foods like good to go in my freezer. I think we'll probably be back in the kitchen on Thursday. I think we'll probably be back in the kitchen on Thursday, you know? And that's a little bit... No, that'll be okay. That'll be okay. Kind of cut that into that a little bit. Alright. Might crank up the heat here a little bit. Feels kind of necessary, but yeah, like I'm excited. I'm excited for the like seeing bad guys this weekend. I think that'll be cool. So I'm kind of hyped to. I think messing around with Mario Paint and doing some like drawings for people be kind of fun. Excited about that. Oh, dude, I'm getting so much better at computers. Okay, so there's this. We realized there's just a few Resident Evil games we haven't played through over like the same period of time. And one of them's like well, two of them actually are these PS2 like online only frickin' Resident Evil games. They're like online 4-player co-op. You go through like Resident Evil Adventure Forever together. They were on the PS2. They're called like Outbreak. They're super fun. Obviously, like the PS2 servers are long gone. I think the servers for that game shut down in like 2007 or something. You know what I mean? Those are kind of in the past. So I was trying to investigate like, oh dude, how can you play these games together? And I actually found this other furry YouTuber who like he's like a furry VTuber and his channel's like basically dedicated to Resident Evil Outbreak. It's like basically exclusively dedicated to Resident Evil Outbreak, and he's got like guides how to play it in 2025. He's got like speed run. He's got like world speed run records on certain levels and stuff like that. And I like went through his guides, and then I had an idea. I was like, okay, can we like have two instances of the same program at the same time? Like, can I have the PS2 emulator connected up to these like fan maintained server? Can I copy that and have a second PS2 emulator doing that on the same computer? And then we can essentially play like split screen together, but it's actually just like two separate PS2 emulators playing online together. And I was messing around with that a bunch last night, and I actually got it working. I'm like, genius me. So I'm excited to play some Resident Evil Outbreak with a Risu. Excited for Bad Guys, as I said. We got Metal Gear end of the month. It's gonna be freaking hype. And I quite like my superhero stuff, so I'm kind of looking forward to the new Peacemaker. The new season of Peacemaker, because I do like my John Cena. John Cena! Do, 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 do. And I quite like my superheroes, so kind of looking forward to that a little bit. We're cooking up a batch of chili. I haven't seen a ton of Zootopia 2 stuff, but I do know it comes out on my birthday. I do know Zootopia 2 comes out on my birthday. More like Rextopia, right? Although here in Europe, it's not called Zootopia, it's called Zootropolis. Because there's a theme, there's like a zoo, I think in Germany, called Zootopia, and they like hold the copyright. So in a lot of Europe, it's called Zootropolis, and not Zootopia. Like in the UK, it was called like Zootropolis. It's like same thing happened with Star Fox. Like the first Star Fox game was called Star Wing, and the second one, Star Fox 64, was called Lilac Wars. Because it was some sort of, I think there was like a computer company called Star Fox or something. Again, probably German. It's usually German, isn't it? And you have the name changed. So I remember in the UK it was Zootropolis. I'm not sure actually what it is here in Spain. I think it's Zootropolis as well. I might be wrong. But anyway, Zootopia 2, Zootropolis 2, that comes out on my birthday. Yeah. Well, I mean, what happened there, with me nearly dropping this knife on my foot, that's why they want you to have steel-toe cap boots, dude. They don't want that liability on their hands. Yeah, I've worked in, for somebody who's worked in, like, engineering and carpentry and factories and stuff like that, like steel-toe cap boots and stuff like that, they're not kind of, like, comfortable, you know what I mean? Because they're kind of, like, rigid and whatever. If there's, like, okay, we're getting drilling. Don't start. Don't start, man. Can you do this after the cooking? You know what this is? This is the pipes. Let's go. Let's go. Very nice. Very nice. The thrifting sort of shops and stuff like that here in, at least in Madrid, I can hear things crumbling above. In between the walls. At least in Madrid, it's not that great, and a lot of kind of like your secondhand or stuff like that, it just gets swooped up really quickly and ends up in like sort of like premium vintage shops, where they sell them for like a really high price. You know what I mean? Because they're like, ooh, vintage, classic. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Here's a T-shirt from the 2004 Olympics for like 30 euros and stuff like that. So it's not one of the countries that I've lived in where like thrifting and stuff like that has been particularly great, which is a shame because I really like that sort of stuff. I like going to thrift stores and stuff like that. Carson, what up, dude? Dude, chili's good, man. Dude, when I smell food, I'm gonna eat. Dude, sometimes I can eat like such like a dog, or like I'm really hungry, and then I get some food and I like absolutely devour it in like 5 seconds, and then afterwards like my tummy hurts. It's absolute like dog appetite way of eating. I mean, usually I'm pretty good at eating. I space out my food and I'm like and it's all good. But I will admit there are moments where I lose control. As do we all. As do we all. Well, dude, I saw like frickin' Xbox 360 games in the retro section of a video game store. I was like, bro, it's HD. You know what I mean? Like for me, we need different terminology to at least separate stuff from like, you know, a high definition era and like you know, CRT or whatever. I was like, Xbox 360. It's like, oh, dude, you want to play this retro game, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? I'm like, that ain't retro, bro. That ain't retro. That ain't retro. But yeah, dude, like, thrift stores for real, Avian. I mean, it was the same sort of thing. I think I've talked about this before. So, I think they're in, like, the States and stuff that called, like garage sales or, like, flea markets, maybe stuff like that. But they have this thing in the UK called car boot sales, where it's basically just, like, this big field, and it's usually Sunday morning is usually when there's a car boot sale. Sunday morning after church. So they have like a car boot sale in the big field, and people just like, you know, you pay whatever to be a seller, right? And you drive up there with your car, and you park your car, you know, you reverse your car, and you open the boot of your car. You've got a bunch of stuff in the boot of your car. You put out your tables or your mats or whatever, and you sell a bunch of stuff. It's like level 3 of Parappa the Rapper, you know, the flea market stage. It's like that. And dude, we were like with my dad being like, you know, like running like a comic book store, and like, you know, we'd sell like records and stuff as well. We'd be like at those places all the time, just like pick stuff up and whatever, or be at those places to sell, you know. So like those and like charity shops, like, you know, like the Oxfam store, like the British Heart Foundation. Dude, spend so much time places like that. I mean, it's cool. It's like, those places are cool. I love those places. And I'd still be like hitting up places like that all the time if I had, you know, things like that around me, because dude, it's like, I don't care if I'm buying something new or I'm buying something secondhand or whatever, as long as, you know, I'm happy, you know. In places like that, you can pick up some really cool stuff or find like weird things you didn't even know existed, or it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool, man. I love places like that. But yeah, like, that's definitely stuff that like I think that like if your parents and stuff take you to things like that, you get really into them, you know. There you go, man. There you go. That's it, dude. That's it. I think for me, the reason, I think one of the reasons that really doesn't feel retro to me is because like those games like exist like as just like downloadable titles on like your current Xbox or whatever. For me, if for me, that doesn't feel super retro. I think there's a version of that for me could feel like really retro, because it is like retro to me implies like a time gone, you know, a time that is like disappeared and is not there anymore. Like it's gone. It's retro. It's Nokia 4800. You know, it's stuff that you're not using anymore, right? If I went to a party and it was like, and dude, I want to go to this party. Okay, so if I know friends who want to go to this party as well. So if you have this party and it's possible for me to go, let me go. But if I went to a party that was like, okay, this is like a Xbox retro party, and it was Halo. Okay, it was Halo, and we had like, you know, 4 or 8 CRT TVs, local network play, LAN. That's retro. You know what I mean? But I think just like playing Halo on a plasma, playing Halo on LCD TV, that doesn't feel retro to me. But playing Halo LAN party, and you've connected your Xboxes together with Ethernet cables, and you're playing them on like CRT TVs, dude, that feels retro to me. So for me, it's kind of like contextual. Do you know what I mean? Of like, is that like... So it's like a feeling for me. Again, I'm no authority on this. It's just like, that's how I feel. You know, that's just kind of how I feel. Dude, I love, loved plushies. You know, loved and lived plushies are freaking, they're cute, man. They're freaking cute. And especially stuff like that. I mean, you can get ones that are even just like the design's kind of like goofy and strange, you know? Etc. You know? In my little kitchen. Hopefully that drilling, because we had some drilling before, hopefully that drilling doesn't haunt us for the cooking segment of that stream today. Okay, that's coming out nicely. That's browning. We're just browning the meat. We're just browning the meat with the onions and the garlic and the yada 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 and all that kind of thing. But notice, like a buddy was asking me. He was asking me like a really similar thing to me to me the other day. I say the other day, maybe like 2 months ago, whatever. But he was like, oh, you know all these like video game places, right? There's like these arcades you go to. There's like the FGC building you go to, whatever. He's like, do you know any of these places where you can go and like, you know, we can just like rent a room and we can play like Halo LAN party or something like that? And I'm like, dude, that does not exist. I was like, that space does not exist. There's places we can go and we can rent to play, but it's like play Fortnite on PCs, you know what I mean? Or play League, you know, or something like that. And he was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, dude, this doesn't exist. It's not a thing. And he's like, they should open it. And I was like, I mean, it would be cool, but who would go? I don't know how big of a market there is for that, you know what I mean? It would be cool. Tell me his breakfast. You can get some steak, bacon, and eggs, which sounds absolutely peak for some breakfast. And I was eating myself some omelets. Omelets, good food. They call me Egg Boy. They call me Egg Boy over here. I enjoy eggs deeply. I have a deep connection with the egg, with the huevo. You know, I love that stuff. But I'm not Egg Boy for those reasons. I'm Egg Boy because the egg is the egg is old. The egg is literally life. The egg is literally life, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Actually, that being said, you listen here, Buster. You listen here. You listen here, Buster. That arcade that I talked about on, I think, Friday stream, that I found, that new, like, arcade place. But they got a bunch of pinballs, they got a bunch of machines, they got a bunch of light gun. They do have a section where they got a bunch of CRT TVs, and they've got like N64 plugged in, they got PS1 plugged in, yada yada yada. I wonder if they've got some like Xboxes or GameCubes or something linked up together on LAN. Because that would be kind of peak. That would be kind of peak. I don't like to do too many like, you know, like, I'm somebody who can have fun with just like, if I've got like one activity going on, I can have fun with that. And like, I'm more than happy to just sort of like space things out. Even though I could like go to the movies and go to that and do that in the same day. It's like, I can just go to the movies and have a real fun time. And then go there another time. Then go do that another time. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes when you're going out, you can fall into these things of just doing like thing. And you're just like spending money. And for me, it's kind of like, I'm still having fun. But I'm not having that like peak fun from like the first activity. So I'm like somebody who's just like happy, like I just go like do one thing, and enjoy that and digest that, and then do something else. We enjoy the eggs. We enjoy the eggs. Egg is love, egg is life. Yeah, I got this on quite a low heat, but that's how we do it over here. We call them Rex low heat. What am I talking about? What nonsense am I constantly just rambling on over here? Seasoning. Of course. Of course. Let's go ham on that, those like chili flakes again. Because that was good in the last batch. I enjoyed that a lot. Whoa! Okay, cool. I just now knocked a bottle of wine over. That's good. Let out a little yelp. Let out a little yelp. Rex always remembers. I'm like a telltale NPC. You know? I'm like a telltale NPC. Rex will remember that. Rex will remember you said that. Rex will remember what you did. Boy. There we go. Oh, now we start getting some aromas, don't we? We start pouring a bunch of that stuff. You know, I could, you know, if I rushed this, I could have this ready in about like 15-20 minutes, right? But what we're gonna do is, because I like stuff to like, I like reduction. I love when you got a sauce and you just like reduce it. You have it like on a really slow heat and just reduces and let flavor like soaks in and becomes like really like deep and rich and strong. I really like that. So what we do here usually is when we're doing these streams here, so we start off the stream like, you know, preparing the food and whatever, and then we just have it simmering like the whole stream. So like, you know, later in the stream we're gonna like play some games, we're gonna whatever, we're gonna do other stuff, and while that's happening, we're simmering over here. You know what I mean? We're simmer. Yeah, 24 hours cheek numbing drive. Cheek numbing drive, yes. Okay, beans. Beans. Beans are good, man. A lot of things in this world are good. Many things in this world are good. It's fun. It's fun for me. it's fun for me. The beans. The beans. Dude, we're gonna reach like a... We're gonna reach a point where there's just gonna be like emojis for everything, emojis and emotes and whatever for everything. We're gonna revert back to, you know, it's like revert to monkey. It's gonna be like revert to ancient Egyptian. We're gonna revert to ancient Egyptian, and language is just gonna switch back to frickin' hieroglyphics, man. And I am all for it. I welcome the emotes. I welcome the emojis. You know, bring them on. Bring them on. It's not gone. We're not crazy over here. We are not crazy over here. We are sane, right? That's what a sane person would say, right? Trust me, I'm sane. Did I talk about my tummy ache the other day? Did I tell you about this? I don't know if I spoke to you guys about it, or I was speaking to other people, but anyway, the other day I had a bit of a tummy ache. A little bit of a rare occurrence for Rex. Honestly, I don't really get tummy aches and stuff like that, but I had tummy aches that day. I was like, I don't have tummy aches. And my buddy was like, take something. And I was like, I don't have anything. And they're like, you got baking soda? And I was like, yeah, why? They're just like, you put a bit of baking soda in some water and drink it. And then like, alkaline, acid reflux, base acid reaction, you're going to feel better. And I was like, is that a thing? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, all right. And I did it, and I drank it. And they're like, how didn't you know this? And I was just like, I don't know, man. I just didn't know it. And they're like, what do you do when you get ill? And I was like, I don't know, wait. Like, I didn't know about this. And now I'm all about this. Dude, I thought baking soda was just for, like, you know, unclogging my drain or getting clothes to be white again and all these other purposes. And now it's like, oh, dude, you can put in some water, drink it, and then, like, your tummy ache goes away. And I was like, this is news to me. I think I'm so used to, like, just, like, taking care of myself all the time, you know? And being, like, crazily independent that I never really get this advice. And I never knew about it. But yeah, dude, I think there's potentially a lot of just, like, common sense, basic knowledge that I'm maybe missing, that I don't have, because, like, nobody's told me. I'm not saying I'm stupid, because I know a lot of stuff, and I'm not gonna like kind of like put myself down in certain ways, because like I know my strengths, and I know like I do actually have like a wealth of knowledge and skills and whatever in specific areas and stuff like that. But I think there's maybe some like pretty like, you know, sort of like somewhat sizable like gaps that they have, because I didn't know this baking soda thing. I vibed at that a lot. Tomato, Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Tomato. Let that bad boy reduce. Reduce the juice. Dude, I saw this YouTube short or whatever the other day of this dude had a Capri Sun, or Capri Sun as they're referred to in the Americas, and it's like this tall. It's crazy. I was like, what the hell is this thing, man? So I do not enjoy all-nighters. I enjoy regular sleeping schedule. Like, you don't feel too rough. If you got systems and the systems work, embrace the systems. Embrace the systems. But dude, if you got a system and it works for you, more power to you. Be like Prince Adam. You know Prince Adam of Eternia? You know that guy? He raises high his sword with Castle Grayskull and says, I have the power, I have the power. And then what's his, it becomes Battle Cat. Is he called like Krieger or something? What's He-Man's cat called? It turns into Battle Cat. But before that, it's like, and it's all scared, and then he goes like, I have the power, and then like, Prince Adam becomes He-Man, and then he takes the sword, he points it at his cat, and his cat turns into Battle Cat. But what was he called before he was Battle Cat? I mean, if you got the system, and the system works, as I'm saying, let's freaking go. That's just life in a nutshell, isn't it? Find those things that work for you and like go with your flow. I know you're in business. You're in business. We do need to do a taste test soon to see if I want to add in some more seasoning, etc. So we'll be getting a bite in soon. We'll be engaging with a bite. To the people. To the people. Dude, this smells good though. Your boy hyped. Your boy kinda hyped. Alright. Let's see how we're doing. That good? That's working for me. I felt like we knew what we were doing. That is working for me. Alright, let's put some real low. Real low. Next, we're gonna let this simmer over here. I'll show you guys what's going on with the balcony. Would you like to come with me? Would you like to come on a journey? Come with me, and we'll be in a world of pure imagination. Skibada-bee, bada-boo. Okay. Let's shove some. There's stuff drying here from the pool. but. I have no idea if I'm showing things correctly here, but we got a few plants on the go, which is like we had nothing here before. We had absolutely nothing on the go before. We just got stuff drying from the pool. But now we got it's my shorts. But now we got a few plants on the go, which is an improvement, man. Which is a little bit of an improvement. Also, I got these lights, which is cute. So, when it's the evening, if I can plug this in, we got these cute little lights. I think it's fun. But yeah, we slowly improving. We slowly improving. Which is cool. Da 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 da.